we're talking about convergence and television and premium video and how it all comes together. You know, Europe is a different place, a different market. Tell us a little bit about some of the differences you're seeing between your colleagues that are running their programmatic business in the US versus Europe.
Well, first thing to say is Europe is not just one thing. Europe is many different things. So it works one way in the UK and one way in Italy and one way in Denmark, etc. So it's, but if I take a UK approach versus a US approach, UK is a very market-driven share market approach where TV buyers are like ourselves are constantly looking to look at new audiences and finding new audiences. And what we found with video is that in the diminishing return space, all of a sudden we can find a new audience and we can build on that TV audience. So what we did is we engaged with Videology 4 or 5 years ago. We said this is a great technology that will enable us to do these things. So what we did is we started creating similar audiences as TV audience, ABC ones, etc., and then started shifting the TV spend into the video spend. And TV buyers or TV clients became much more interested in that approach because it's an easy approach. Let's say, okay, we have a TV audience, now we have a video on demand audience. Let's start testing it, let's start shifting it because we know at some point our money is not the same value as the first money spent. And that's how it all started. And Videology was a great partner in doing that.
Great, and so, you know, there's a lot of differences across Europe, right? So just holistically, let's talk about the sales houses. How does that affect the adoption of programmatic? Does that result in faster embracing of these platforms and technologies, or do the sale houses slow the process a little bit?
Well, let's define different groups of sales houses. You have typical big broadcasters. In the UK, you have ITV, Channel 4 and 5. Mm-hmm. They run a big part of the market. You obviously have Sky as well. You have Liberty owning Virgin. You have BT now going into this space, who spent £2 billion buying sports rights. So a big telco becomes a broadcaster in its own right, in itself. So if I group that as one group as sales houses, and then you have all the group of video on tablets, video as we know it on desktops, on mobile, etc. And there are different players and different sales houses, and the approach is very, very different. If you take these two groups, one approach comes with a technology background, the other approach comes with a content background. So therefore, you need to engage with the right sales houses at the right time. Broadcasters in the UK, I feel, are very progressive in participating in this space. Were they progressive 4 or 5 years ago, wanting to adopt programmatic, wanting to adopt technology? Maybe not. Are they progressive today? Absolutely. Yeah. If you follow Channel 4, Channel 4 is one of the biggest in the UK. They're having a programmatic strategy. They now go out and sell some of their core audiences, core impressions programmatically as a broadcaster. That's quite progressive.
And is your core focus, sort of, if we look at convergence as a thematic, is your objective from a GroupM perspective to really be able to buy unified, just video, whether it's served in a traditional linear infrastructure, or it's digitally served, it's IP? Is that your goal? One price, one product, a 30 or a 15?
Our goal is to engage with an audience, wherever that audience is.
Yep.
That is probably a goal we're quite far away from right now. There are different mechanics of engaging with different audiences. You have a product in the UK called AdSmart, which is a B-Sky product, which is a linear programmatic buying using data. You have different products that are more not linear product but catch-up TV products, which in principle is linear as well. It's catch-up TV, it's watching catch-up TV on the big screen, but it is not 100% linear, but it's getting there. And that has been becoming more and more seen as linear. But there's a big difference between them. One is catch-up, you go into a set-top box, you watch it on the big screen, but obviously it's not live linear TV.
Right.
But in principle, you watch the same program, because you take the program, linear program, and you store that on your set-top box, and then you watch it.